I think it's very important that all of us are on the same page when it comes down to March 14th. That is going to be on Tuesday. We're going to get the vote from AMC whether or not to issue 25 million additional shares and to do a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. Now, I think it's pretty clear to everyone, nothing's actually going to happen after March 14th. We are going to get a yes or a no answer, but due to the court proceedings, nothing is going to happen. Now, that creates a very interesting yet confusing dynamic for AMC's share price, because on one hand, potentially facing dilution and the proposition that AMC should fall in value, but at the same time, there's a huge counter argument that you might actually get this big rally. So we have a lot to talk about in a very short amount of time, guys. Let's get into everything you need to know this week in preparation for this March 14th vote, which is going to be on Tuesday. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section if you have not already. I literally don't know what you are waiting for. Right now is the best time to hit the like button. Now, let's get into what's going on, right? March 14th, I just broke it down for you guys. We're going to vote. We're going to vote. It's not like we have much of a say, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But if AMC should issue 25 million additional shares to sell into the markets, right, to raise some capital, and then do a 1-for-10 reverse stock split to incorporate APE units into AMC common stock. Adam Aaron gave us like 10 reasons why this is a good thing. We went over that in a video. Go ahead and look at that video if you guys are confused on why this could be a good thing. We do like to go over the good and bad out of everything. Now, is this vote gonna pass? That's a big question. Everyone wants to know, is this gonna come back as a yes or a no? And I want you guys to be fully prepared for this vote to come back as a yes. I think there's probably a 98% chance that this gets passed. Well, nothing's going to happen, but it's going to pass. Very interesting. Now, it's all due to the court proceedings. The court essentially said that AMC can hold this vote. They can get a yes or a no answer, but the court's got a rule on it before anything happens. And when you're talking about the courts, and when the plaintiffs, when Allegheny County Pension Fund has a very valid argument like they do, nothing is going to be resolved April 27th. That is going to be the court date. Now let's rewind a little bit. Why do I think there's a 98% chance this vote is going to come back as a yes? Well, AMC rigged the vote. AMC knows very well that they rigged the vote. They just want to make it look like you actually have a voice in this, when in all reality you don't. That is because the hedge fund that bought APE shares, 225 million shares, now controls almost 40% of the voting power needed to pass this initiative. And as soon as they bought the APE shares, it was in agreement to vote yes for this 1-for-10 reverse stock split, because after all, this whole arbitrage trade around March 14th that could give us this big upside is based off of going long on APE, which this hedge fund obviously did, Intera Capital, right? They went long on APE and go short on AMC. AMC in theory should fall, APE should rise somewhat to meet in the middle to give us AMC's share price at that point, right? So you would make money going long on APE, going short on AMC. Long story short, so the vote is rigged. It's just flat out rigged. Anyone else that has been playing this arbitrage trade, which is a lot of people, you've seen the short interest go from 19% to 25%, and likely a lot higher than that. There's probably a lot of naked shorts on AMC. You see the failure to deliver numbers, and we could talk about that a little bit later on into this video. It's going to come back as a yes. Now, the interesting part about that is the markets probably already expect this vote to come back as a yes. Likely why you've seen some downside with AMC over the last couple of days. But coming until April 27th, we're going to be in this weird state of limbo where just 2 or 3 weeks ago, hedge funds expected March 14th to be a home run kind of day where we get this yes vote and then you get AMC's share price falling and Ape's share price almost instantly rising. They didn't even have to hold until the actual reverse stock split. Essentially, they were probably planning on holding to the end of this upcoming Friday by March 17th and then exiting out of their positions. Now with these court proceedings, this is going to last through summertime, guys. There's a very valid argument here, and it's going to go on for a while. It's not going to be one and done, one court date and done. It's just not going to be the case. So what hedge funds are going to be forced to do is either get out of their positions because maybe it's just looking too risky at this point with court litigations, which I think is a very real possibility, and that could fuel some pretty large upside. Again, considering the short interest went from 19% to 25%, and that's only the legal short interest, not to mention the huge option activity. Or speaking of option activity, hedge funds kick the can down the road. They remain short on AMC, long on Ape, but they continue to hedge out their positions at very high premiums using the options, and not to mention paying very high cost of borrow rates on their short positions on AMC. If you take a look at Interactive Brokers, they have AMC's cost of borrow rate at about 102%. That's unsustainable. That is very much painful if you do not get in and out of your position. Cost of borrow average rate across many different platforms sits at about 240%. Cost of borrow max at 286%. These are very high numbers. Like I said, unsustainable. So either way you put it, whether hedge funds have to kick the can down the road, whether they just get out of their positions, those are really the only two options you're going to have if you think the court proceedings are going to take at least 3 to 6 months from now, right? April 27th is going to come along, and then you're probably going to be another month or two out until the next court date. And then I would imagine it would be the court date after that this would either get dismissed or continue on. And this litigation could take 6 to 12 months, potentially even longer. And why I say that is because Allegheny County Pension Fund is basically saying that AMC rigged this vote. Essentially, what I just told you is what they are arguing for in court. They and I'm paraphrasing here, right? They're not going to court saying AMC rigged the vote. They're basically going to court and saying that AMC stockholders, they got their voting rights diluted because of this deal Adam Aaron made with Intera Capital, which is very much true. That's why there's a 98% chance that this will come back as a yes on March 14th, because they made sure it was going to come back as a yes before they ever made this deal, before they ever put out this proposal to AMC shareholders. So I think there's a really good chance, believe it or not, that the courts even rule potentially on April 27th, that's the best case scenario, that this will not be able to go through. Now, imagine that. Imagine if you get a yes vote on Tuesday on March 14th, and then on April 27th, the courts say, yeah, no, this is not going to happen. You guys maliciously, how do I put this? Maliciously devalued AMC current shareholders' rights to vote, or rights to a fair election, if you guys want to put it that way. So, long story short, I think this is going to be a positive thing overall for AMC. I think this vote's going to come back as a yes, and I think the markets have already likely priced that in. AMC has already fallen like 40% from where it was a week or two ago. Now, a lot of this is probably due to the bank concerns that we are seeing. Don't be confused in that. There has been other market events that have been happening. A hotter than expected jobs report, right? You've seen economic data not playing in favor of stocks, of really the market environment. You've seen Fed Jerome Powell talk about increasing the pace of rate hikes and potentially going as high as 6% for the terminal rate in 2023. You've seen other things that have caused some of this market downside and subsequent downside with AMC, but some of it is likely due to pricing in the possibility that this 1-for-10 reverse split does happen. Now, ultimately, where could this send AMC? Tough thing to map out, because it all depends. If this comes back as a flat out no on April 27th, well, I think you almost instantly will see the short squeeze at that point, because not a lot of shorts actually want to be short on AMC right now. Believe that or not, a lot of the short interest is due to this whole voting process, is due to this initiative that AMC is trying to do. This was believed a month ago to be a quote-unquote home run trade. Doesn't look to be such a home run anymore. Now, leading up to April 27th, you might actually see a pretty big rally as well, even potentially this week, just based off of a subsequent dismissal, right? Or dismissal of this vote coming from the courts, essentially saying this 1-for-10 reverse stock split cannot happen under the current terms and agreement. So either way you want to put it, guys, this is going to be a bullish week in my personal opinion. There's not really a bearish case you can have on AMC regarding this vote at all. I mean, if you guys have a bearish case on this, I would love to hear it, but a lot of shorts are caught off guard. They're caught off on, the wrong side, and that's not where you want to be right now, especially considering the looming bank runs that are about to be happening. Signature Bank, First Republic Bank, these second-tier banks are going to be put through the ringer this week, and that's not going to be very pretty as well. Could lead to forced share recalls like we talked about in the last video. Not to mention the potential naked shorts that we have been seeing on AMC over the last couple of weeks. AMC is on the threshold securities list, and it looks almost impossible to not have naked shorts at this current moment in time, guys. So as far as how high AMC stock could go, it's hard to say for this week. We'll get into an actual, more so price prediction video here in the next video and go over all the other data you need to know, all the FTD numbers, right? All the option numbers as well. But if this vote does not actually ultimately happen, I think that triggers the MOAS. I think that triggers a lot of upside from here. But even this week, I want to target, $8, $9 at least, based off of everything that we have talked about in this video as well as the last video, guys. So I'll give you guys more elaboration on that, the technicals, the FTD numbers, the option activity, right? Go over everything you need to know in the next video, so stay tuned for that one. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.